waiting in the wings, step up, and put some good tape on the film. Go out there, be productive. And so I think we got a really good nucleus or foundation, if you will, for coming seasons.
I want to talk about it. John mentioned it. He's been on Michael Turner's bandwagon since the guy won the starting job there in Atlanta. And
just the latest guy that San Diego let get away.
I'm just telling you, most people
there's
will
a guy
tell
playing
you.
in the Super Bowl 44 at quarterback they let get away too.
Most definitely. Who's playing this weekend.
Yeah.
But you guys, man, you took New Orleans down to the wire back in Week 8, 27-35. Michael Turner, this offensive line, he had 151 yards against this defense. In addition to that, he came back Week 14, man, y'all gave it to him again. 23-26. And I mean, you guys at that time, Redmond had 300 yards passing. So you've done it both ways here, and you've really been able to be close in these games. I would like to know your thoughts, man, on the New Orleans Saints, the team that will be playing the Super Bowl 44 on Sunday.
Obviously, they're a fantastic team, put up a lot of points. So, I mean, you got to do your best to hold on to the football, protect it no matter what, and keep Drew Brees and those guys off the field. That's really your best opportunity. Like you said, we were able to go in there and have competitive games, at the Superdome and at the Georgia Dome as well. We just feel the way we play, we got a shot against anybody. It doesn't matter what they do. Obviously, we didn't come out with the exact result we wanted, but I think other people were able to see kind of our game plan and kind of paid off for them.
This game, depending on the weather, could come down to the rushing attack of both teams. You guys, like I said, Week 8, 151 yards from Michael Turner. What is it about this New Orleans Saints defensive line that makes them susceptible?
Well, at the time we played them, they were having a lot of turnover injuries as well. So they were trying new guys, bringing guys up from practice squad, things like that. Same thing with the entire front seven, I believe. It's really difficult, in the NFL to, keep that consistency when you're having players up and down every week. Don't know who's going to be out there. You might not be able to call the plays you like, because a guy might just not, be up to speed, in his playbook or whatever. So it's really a really interesting dynamic. One playing a division rival twice every year. One game could be straight pounded, ground and pound. The other game is just bombs away.
Yep.
Ground and pound. Rex Ryan, you ain't going for a job with the Jets? Justin Blaylock, our guest in studio here on the Longhorn Station, AM 1300 The Zone. What's it like in Atlanta?
It's very nice. It's a lot like it is here. A little colder though.
You got some room for me up there?
Absolutely.
Well, I guess
everywhere is up there to me, man.
Over there, yeah.
Up there.
The city. I mean, if you had a chance to take in like a Hawks basketball game, or did you check out the Braves or any? I mean, that's one thing I noticed about going to Atlanta is everything's pretty easy. I mean, it's fairly easy to get around for a big city.
Mm-hmm. Right. I've actually been to a Thrashers game, which is the hockey team out there.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty good event. They really put on a good show. Starting to do a little bit more stuff in the city, because we do, our facilities are about an hour away. So
an hour away from the city proper?
Oh yeah.
Where? What city?
It's called Flowery Branch, Georgia.
Flowery Branch?
Wow.
Georgia.
I don't think I knew that.
Never heard of that.
An hour away from
it's
the
out
city?
there.
So do most players live in that? I mean, I'm assuming you live out there since you're going to be there 5-6 days a
Right,
week.
I live about maybe 10 minutes away.
Exactly.
So getting to the city is kind of a big ordeal.
I bet.
But it's still worth it, right?
No doubt. No doubt. I can only imagine.
Yeah, but if you're going to go downtown to catch a game or something like that, you got about an hour's drive going home at the end of the night.
Yeah, that's rough now.
That
But no,
stinks.
these guys get car service, trust me. Yeah, you don't make that trip that late at night, having to get up the next morning to go to practice without having a service. That's just how you do it. A bunch of them get together, trust me, and you just, am I right?
Oh, yes. It's a
how
big
it works.
production.
That's how it works, man.
It's a big production.
Most definitely. Now, let me ask you something else, man. Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints, my former coach there in Buffalo, and he does a myriad of things, man, to try to put pressure. And you being an offensive lineman, you could really capture for people who really don't know what it's like, but how confusing it can be when you're trying to get pass protection. and things of such, and make those adjustments because it's difficult. And the more looks, a defensive coordinator or a defensive team like that tries to dictate what y'all are going to do makes it very difficult. And the New Orleans Saints try to do that. They don't always get to the quarterback, but I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just try to capture that for us, the defensive philosophy of the New Orleans Saints and the way they try to attack and get points of pressure.
Yeah, just like you said, they're gonna take chances and heat it up. Greg's a very creative defensive coordinator, and does a lot of complex things to try to get favorable matchups for his team. And when you have players like they do over there, especially the pass rushers they have, if you get those guys in a one-on-one situation or get them on a back even, I mean, forget about it. And it's not always about getting sacks. Sometimes you just want to make the quarterback move his feet just a little bit, throw off his timing. Just something that small can have a huge effect. Maybe instead of looking at his second read, he sees a guy about to hit him or getting close to him, and he makes an ill-advised pass, and there goes Darren Sharper taking it back for 6.
Yeah. Justin Blaylock, our guest in the studio here on AM 1300 The Zone. Let me ask you this, because one of the storylines, and we got Dan Byer coming up at the bottom of the hour from Miami, Fox Sports reporter. The difference between being an effective running football team and not being as effective, because the Colts, very well respected, maybe the best quarterback playing today, but they are 29th, something like that, in the league in running the football. Now, some of that may be style, some of it, whatever. I mean, what is the difference between being an effective running team in the NFL and struggling a little bit in that department?
Well, I'm not sure that the problem is that they just struggle running the ball. It's when you have 18 back there, there's no need to do anything else. I mean, they just run it when they literally can't do anything else. But the good thing is, the way we feel is we're really built for, those cold games in January, going on the road. And you can always run the ball. I mean, that's the way we feel. There's going to be situations, you go to New York in the late winter, the winds are swirling around, all that stuff. It's about 2 degrees outside. Maybe guys don't really want to stick their hands out and catch the ball. But
what was the game?
I don't know how that works. I'm not saying that's what happens.
That's a comment that a big would make.
What's the game you played so far in your NFL career where you stopped on your way from the huddle to the line of scrimmage and just said, "God, it's cold"?
We went up and played the Jets. I think it was late December this year.
Week 15.
Yeah, we got off the plane and it made you really second guess if you wanted to be up there.
Yeah.
And by the way, y'all grounded out that game. That was a matter of it was a 10-7 win there. That's all it was, I'm sure. He asked you about the cold game. I want to ask you about the moment that you became a pro. And for a lot of people that are going through this process right now, we have a lot of guys who've gone to the league. Earl Thomas, Colt McCoy will now make that leap. Several other players, Lamar Houston, several of your fellow offensive linemen as well. When you get there, what was the game for you, the aha game where you said, you know what, I'm playing in the NFL? Maybe it was when October Gonzalez walked in the locker room and you saw Tony Gonzalez's wife for the first time. I'm just kidding. No, because she's beautiful, by the way. But, I don't know what it was. But what moment in your career, man, where you look at it and you just say, I'm in the NFL, man, I play the greatest game in the world, and I get paid to do it?
Yeah, it doesn't take very long. Just the first regular season game. It really is something else. You come out playing football